Jeff, so what does one do on a day off in Nashville when you can't leave your hotel room?
I've said this before, Eileen. We watch lots of tape on days off. It's not a whole lot different for us, to be honest with you, except the dinner ends up being, the dinner ends up being in the hotel instead of out to dinner.
Okay. I'm sure you saw all the attention about the refereeing incident after Tuesday's game. When did you guys kind of know what was said, and what did you think of that whole situation?
Well, I'd start by saying, I heard what you guys heard, which was a partial conversation caught on a hot mic. Without knowing the context of the rest of the conversation, which we don't know, none of us, I certainly wouldn't judge personally. Like at the end of the day, we don't know the whole situation. So the league's made a decision. The one thing I would say is I've got lots of respect for Tim Peel as a person. I've got lots of respect for Tim Peel as a man. I think he's been somebody I've respected from day one in this league. And so that part's unfortunate because I think he's a real good ref and a good man.
Did you guys hear anything about it during the game? I mean, from what has come out of Nashville, it sounds like there was a conversation with one of their players. But did any of that,
No, we don't pay attention to social media during the game. So, we didn't hear it, on our video guys didn't hear it. So we didn't know anything about it till after the game.
I mean, overall, as far as the integrity of calling games, there's probably, at least from fans' perspective, and I know you've talked about how everything happened so fast, but questionable calls every game. But is there any doubt in your mind that overall, the integrity is there as far as refereeing?
Zero doubt in my mind that we've got a great group of officials who ref this game with integrity. It means tons to them. I've had heated conversations with different refs at different times, and one thing I know for certain is that they care about doing a great job. They care about the job they do a ton. It's their livelihood, and there's zero doubt in my mind that it's done with great integrity.
And lastly, just is there anybody not available tonight who was available last game?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Next, we'll go to Ted Colfin from the Detroit News.
Hey, Jeff, do you guys sometimes expect for a game, you hear the word managed a lot the last couple of days. I mean, you hate the word makeup calls, but do you guys sense sometimes that could occur or can occur?
Ted, I've been doing this a long time. Is there human element to refereeing? Of course there is, and that's probably a great thing. But is there a human element? Sure. If one team's up a lot, do they get some calls? I don't know. Some games you might, but it might just be the way the game goes. So I don't honestly spend a lot of time worrying about that at all. I focus on what we can control, and that's how we play, and whether or not we put ourselves in position to take penalties. So, I think at the end of the day, I'm just focused on our hockey team and how we can be a better team. I got enough, on my own plate with our team to try to help us get better every day here than to worry about, a lot of this other stuff.
Is it tricky this time of year? Like yesterday, you guys got you gave them the day off yesterday. Just managing time off and games and practices.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's hard.
It's a little tricky.
Yep, for sure. It's tricky. It's hard. It's, you probably need more time off than maybe at times, we want to give them because you need practice time too, and you can't get both. Like at the end, you want guys to make sure they have great energy. And that you don't drain them in terms of their workloads, but you want to play with great structure and great habits, and those are two colliding items. You can't have both in this league, so that's what makes it difficult. But that's where guys have to do a really good job of learning through video at times and making sure they're sharp and they're making the necessary adjustments, so the learning process is going on, even if it's not done in practice.
So Jack's Barbecue didn't do DoorDash, or what's the deal? I mean, did they do DoorDash or?
I can't answer that question, but I did not have Jack's Barbecue.
That's a tough loss on the road. There really is. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Next, we'll go to Ansar Khan from MLive.
Yeah, Jeff, are you going to stick with the 11-7, or have you decided yet?
I've decided I'm not going to really talk about it, but in the end, again, the 11-7 for us has served some specific purposes in terms of specialty teams and things like that. So if I decide to stay with it, that's why.
So it wouldn't have anything to do. I mean, when you're in a scoring slump, and does that play a role in your decision of whether to go back to 12 forwards, or does that have anything to do with it?
Not necessarily. Part of the reason that we've done it from an offensive standpoint is it's probably allowed us to make sure we have two power play defensemen in the lineup, and also allowed us to have another puck mover in the lineup on the backside, and then also get more ice time to Manthas and Fabries and Zadinas and guys like that we see are offensive guys. And it doesn't always work out exactly that way. Sometimes other guys are double shifted depending how the game goes, but it has allowed us to double shift those guys in with a Rass and a Bobby Ryan, and hopefully make that line dangerous. Now, it hasn't turned out that way the last couple of games, but I don't think it's specific to 11-7 or 12-6.
And everybody who played the last game, are they available tonight?
You got to go back to Helene's question, but yes.
Okay.
She beat you to that one answer.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody. Those are all the questions we had for Coach this afternoon. We'll be back shortly.